Hi, Dusty Shelf Collectibles here. A very warm welcome to an extremely cold workshop. Today we're reviewing the latest release from Dynamix. Yeah, so Dynamix have released this coaster cutout of the lead car of the Pepsi Max Big One at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Just a quick background to Dynamix. So they started off creating these statics models, which are injection molded depictions of various roller coaster cars sitting on a plastic track in a plastic display. They were never really taken up, well, they weren't taken up in the UK. They're basically, a lot of the parks in the US had these for a short period. They're quite rare now. I mean, they don't make them anymore. They occasionally come up for sale, but as I say, they were very particular to the US parks. Dynamix then took this concept, put low friction wheels on there, and sold a kit of a track that you assembled. Put this on the track, and up it goes with a 12-volt supply to a lift hill. It runs all the way around, and you've got a working model of a roller coaster. They're extremely large when they're built. I do have one, we'll review it in another video. Probably 4 or 5 foot long. They're absolutely huge, so not the best of space savers. They then went on to advance that design. They put stations in, and they had little mechanisms that opened lift bars, and then finally finished with a wooden model called the Comet, which is like an Airfix kit, or a projection mold kit, where you take it off the sprues, glue it all together, and again it's a working model with a 12-volt supply. And that one was in HO scale, so ideal for your model railways. Once they're finished with experimenting with working models, they then moved into this, which is the Silhouette series. So again, a lot of the parks in the USA have picked up on this and have silhouettes of their key roller coasters. These are laser score stainless steel sheets. You cut them out at home, you bend them to shape, and then you drop them into this pre-cut polycarbonate base. The only thing I would say about them is as you cut them, the little sprues that you cut off, they are extremely sharp. I mean, it's so easy to cut yourself on these. It's not ideal for kids, but when they are made like this, they make quite a nice little depiction of the route that a coaster takes. This one happens to be of Nemesis. Was never taken up by Alton Towers, so never for sale in the park there. But I got this direct from Dynamix. I think they've got a few left. I haven't looked recently, but you can get it, but obviously you'd have to import it from the States if you wanted one. So then on to the next and final range, which is the coaster cutouts. Now, these are laser scored plywood, very similar to U-Gears or other manufacturers, where you pop the parts out, clip them together, and they give you a depiction of whatever it is. This happens to be roller coaster cars, and Dynamix only focus on roller coaster cars. Now, again, a lot of the parks in the USA picked up on these and been doing these for quite a while. You can get all kinds of things. You can even get full trains now. This is the first release in the UK, and absolutely fantastic. Blackpool Pleasure Beach engaging in something like this, unlike Alton Towers, who didn't engage in this. Blackpool Pleasure brought this to their merchandise shop. Now, I love my roller coasters, and I love going to parks. Always make a beeline for the merchandise. A lot of it's boring. You get occasionally a good mug or a nice t-shirt, but there's never really anything of real interest in there. It's all tacked, really. And then to engage in something like this, which is just fantastic. It's something you can take away, you can build. Great thing to have in there. Now, that said, it's not the cheapest of things. This was $26.95. It's just come into the Pleasure Beach merchandise shop online, so you can order that or buy it from the park later in the year. I've ordered quite a few things from Blackpool Pleasure Beach over the years, never had a problem, so I definitely recommend it. But what we'll do is we'll take this over to the bench, we'll have a quick review of the packaging, then we'll get it open and get it built. So, looking at the front of the box, you can see that the end model is in the current livery. There's been 2 or 3 liveries of the trains at Blackpool Pleasure Beach on the big one. This is the current livery, which is the Union Jack. We'll just flip it over, and yeah, I'll read this out. So coaster cutouts are a fun to assemble laser cut wooden model of your favourite roller coaster trains. Each model is designed with small interlocking tabs and slots for press fit assembly with no glue required. Collect all of your favourite rides and show your roller coaster enthusiasm. Okay, yeah, sure, all right. Coaster Dynamix, based in Elkton in Virginia. And this, I don't know whether you can see this at the bottom here. There's a formaldehyde compliant registration for California. No idea why that's important to California. I mean, obviously being plywood, there's probably all kinds of bonding agents in there, and I guess formaldehyde is in there. But why it's specific and only important to California, I have no idea. If you've got any ideas, drop me a message. I'm interested. So, a couple of statistics in the middle here. You know, the length, the height of 235 feet. So, from memory, Blackpool, the big one at Blackpool was commissioned by Jeffrey Thompson. He was the CEO of the park at the time, also the owner because it's privately owned. Commissioned in 1991, opened in 1994. It was the tallest in Europe. It remains the tallest in the UK. It's going to be superseded in 2024 by Ride in Thorpe Park, so it'll no longer be the highest, but you know, it's been there many years. Made by a company called Arrow out of Utah in the USA. So Arrow Dynamix started, they made a lot of the rides for the original Disneyland. They were commissioned by Walt Disney, and actually it's Walt Disney's investment in them as a company that made them succeed. Sadly went out of business in the early 2000s, but they've left some good legacy rides, and this is one. So what I like to do is first and foremost, when I'm building on the bench, is to put something clean down. Now I like to use this fibre board. It's like a polystyrene board. You can buy it in a big sheet from, you know, a lot of the hobby stores and things, and I find it's very good for you know, keeping things clean when you're working on the bench. The other thing is with these with this type of kit, although you can clip them together, I like to glue them. So I have two grades of glue here. It's an industrial grade, so it's available from various DIY shops. It's low viscosity and high viscosity. So basically, if you want it to run, you use this one. If you don't, you use this one. And the good thing about this glue is you can move the parts into place, and then you use this active spray. You spray it, a couple of seconds, it sets off, and it's nice and hard. You know, but it allows you to move parts. It's not like the stuff that you get in the supermarkets. You know, it's a little bit more versatile. And then obviously we need, so knocking stuff over, need the cutting pad, because although it says you can push these parts out, past experience has told me that that's not always possible, and obviously the trusty knife there. So with that, I'll get the packet open and let's see what's inside. Right, let's get this open. I'm just going to move those over. Right. So, cellophane wrapped, and here's a set of instructions here. So, let's see what we've got. So, fairly straightforward. Let's cut these open. Okay, so already parts are falling off. So let's just get rid of that, and let's lay these out. So it looks like we've got the base there, various components, and more components here. Right. So let's have a look at the instructions. Right, we're looking for these pieces, so I'll put that over there. That's all the base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this in real time, record it in real time, and then I'll just edit some parts together. Obviously you're not going to want to sit there and watch me spend the next couple of hours putting this together, so I'll as I say, you'll see it sort of fade across as I bring in different bits, but I'm just going to go ahead and build this and see what happens. So looking through these bits, I'm looking for the seat pan. which is not a good start because I can't see it. It's because it's upside down. Right. Okay, so I'll take these pieces out. 2 and 3. Okay. They've all come out quite cleanly. And then the armrests. So, looking for those. They're here. Okay, 1, 2, a little bit of persuasion. 2, 3, 4. So far, no need to cut anything. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, that's all of those out. Right, so this is a start putting some pieces together. So looking at this, these need to obviously have one direction that they go round, so with the notch down at the base. So I'll take a little bit of the glue. Okay, I'm just going to drop that in there. You can see they need quite a little bit of force and then they clip in. Let me just grab some cloth. I'll just wipe a little bit of the excess glue off. I don't want that showing. Okay, and that goes in there. Okay, the next one. So the Pleasure Beach do actually have another coaster cut out. They've got Icon, which is a Premier Rides newest roller coaster. They've got a coaster cut out of that, and they have 2 silhouettes, one of the big one and also one of Icon as well, which you can buy from their shops and assemble. And they also do some quite interesting 3D printed representations of some of their cars, and so they've got quite a broad selection of items that might appeal to the modeler or the hobbyist, or even the, as I say, the collector. So it's definitely worth a look. And we'll review some of those other sort of 3D printed models in another video. Oh, wrong side. Not concentrating. I'll put that one in wrong as well. No, I haven't. That's okay. That's all right. Okay, just dab a little bit of that off. Okay, put that in there like that. Okay, and that one goes in there as well. As I say, you don't have to glue the components together. They will clip together, and they will stay clipped together. You know, it's just my personal preference. I know I'm never going to take these apart, so why not make them so that they last? Right, next section looks like these parts. As I say, none of the parts are numbered in here, so it is a case of you know, looking at the shapes and finding them. I guess that's why they call it the puzzle, you know, because you're looking for pieces in the puzzle to put together. So, right, these seem pretty straightforward. These are just the side parts to each of the rows of seats. Just make sure that there's no marking of the glue on there. That's perfect. A little bit of, okay, that's good. Let's get this one in. Again, make sure I get it up the right way. That's that one complete, so you can see that's now that's all complete there. Just make the other ones, the other 2 rows. Okay. So those of you that were paying attention will have seen that I put this one together around the wrong way, and this is where this type of glue comes in absolutely, you know, it's top notch, because it hadn't set off. You know, I haven't sprayed any of the activator on it yet. Eventually it will go. It takes about 20 minutes to set without the activator, but yeah, had I sprayed it with activator I wouldn't have been able to change those parts around. So there you go. Not far into it and I've already made a mistake, but that's the nature of me and model making. I just enjoy doing it, and I make the mistakes as I go. Don't ever get cross with it, just pick it up and try and correct it as you can. Right, that's those done, so let's have a look on here. Yeah, right. So we're looking for a back panel, which looks like that, but I can't see it. That's it there. Okay, so that looks like the back panel. Okay, and that needs to come out. There's a little laser cut piece still in there. Just give that a little bit of persuasion. Right, and then the 2 side components. I'll just drop that one out while I'm there. Should be a 3rd one. There it is. I'll just check there's no markings on any of those. Right, that's good. So then the side panels look like, okay, I can't see them there. Okay, yeah, it's a lot easier when you turn the parts over and you can see the other side with the decoration on them. Right, so these parts are going to drop into there to form the seats. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a glue because I can. Okay, this is where it gets a little bit of a challenge because you've got to line up multiple clips all at the same time, and yeah, can be a little bit fun, and sometimes it comes down to brute force and ignorance, like that. Just give that one more push. There you go, that's in. So that's all in now. Okay, and then the side panels are looking like they're fitting onto here like that. So let's just give them, I think I can just put a bit of blob in the middle there to hold them together. Again, they're going to need a little bit of persuasion to get in. That one, and that one. There you go. Okay, that's all together. Let's do one on this side. Again, a little blob of glue. As I say, you don't have to use the glue. These will hold together as they are. But why not make life difficult? There you go. So that's a completed seat for number 3, and we've got 3 of those to make, so I'll carry on and put the others together. Okay, that one there. It's all together quite cleanly. Okay, a little blob of glue. Oh dear, that's not right. That's not right at all. So, second mistake, fitted the end plate round the wrong way. Doing well. Never mind, no harm done. Soon got that back on the right way round. Just to check that's correct. Yeah. Right, I'll get these ones right. So, square goes in this hole, the back plate goes on the back. And the markings on the side go down the car, not up the car. So that's good. Okay, put that together. Quite a lot of force required to put some of these parts in. You know, so do be aware if you're buying these for kids, you're gonna be helping them. So let's just push that too. And make sure that's home. Yeah, no, that's good. So that's the second one done. Let's do the third one. I don't know if you can see this is why I like using this fiberboard, because you see the indentations in there as I'm pushing down. It cushions the blow for the model, so you're not pushing down onto a hard dirty bench. So this stuff is like I say, I would recommend it. I use it quite a lot for a lot of my model making. If you need to push down harder, you can always push across onto the cutting pad. I'm just going to move that before it lands on my leg. Okay, just put that one in. There you go. Okay, that's good. Right, a little blob of glue. Okay, what's that one? That way? No. Okay. Right, so eventually that's all 3 of those done. Say, you know, I couldn't believe I've fitted parts around the wrong way, just not paying attention. But never mind, it's all part of the fun. So then on to the side rails. I'm assuming that's what you'd call them. And what we're going to do is mount these upside down, and they look like they just fit in the side here. So I'm just going to drop a tiny bit of glue in there. And clip them in. So one of the things with these clips is don't try and force them in that direction. Always go in from the direction that they're, you know, from the top part. If you try and push them in sideways, they just break off. And that's another thing I found out the hard way on a previous model. I'll just slide that in there. Okay, and that one. into there. And I'll just go and do the same for the other side. Okay. Right, dab of glue. Okay, and push that first one in. Second. And third. Right, let's have a quick look at that. It's all square. Perfect. Okay, and now we're going to move to looking at, there you go, there's the top. You can see the front part now. I've actually jumped a step. I've glued both sides on. So hopefully I can just slide that front piece in, which appears to be this. And that's going to drop in either side. So I'm going to have to put a dab of glue on there now before I try and squeeze it in. Okay. Yeah, so obviously you're supposed to put this in beforehand, just so that it fits onto one side, but doesn't seem to be a problem putting it in afterwards. So jumped a step there, but never mind, caught myself back on. So moving across onto the next page, we now fit the base. Now I can see the base, there it is. Okay, so base fits with the two pieces at the back. Bring that back onto the camera. So just do a dry fit first. So that one. Right, there's no markings either side, so that's pretty good. There is, however, one hole that hasn't punched out, so that's good. And I'm just going to put, I'm not going to glue down the sides here, I'm just going to put some on the lower bits here where you can't see it. And then let's tease it in from the back and clipping each row in as we go. Oh, that's broken one of the tabs. Let me just get in and tidy that up. Not the easiest of things to fit, I must say. Right, that one's gone in. Let's see if we can get this one down. Trying to get that lined up. Yeah, not the most fun thing. I'm just going to try and get this row in, and then what we'll do is we'll try and push it down home in a minute. Okay, let's you can see these front ones. There you go, it's in. Right, so that row's in, that row's down, that row's down, and that row's not quite down. Okay, just going to apply a little bit of pressure onto this and make sure that's down fully. It's not quite gone home in that corner. Let's try in here again. No, that looks good. There's a slight little gap along there, but I mean, I guess that's on the same on the other side, so that's fine. There you go, looking good. Right, looks like we're doing 6 lots of restraints now, so 12 of these to push out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get those out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, that's good. And we need these cross braces. So let's find those. That looks like them on here. So there's one. That one doesn't want to come out, so I'll do that in a second too. Three, 4, that did come out. 5 and 6. we just assemble these quite straightforward. I don't think I'm going to glue these bits. They're just fairly, I don't think they need any glue on them. Oh, it's a little bit of a, actually yeah, no, I am going to glue them. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Let's just put a tiniest dab in there. So, yeah, glad I glued those. So, like I say, got to make 6 of those, so I'll just carry on with those. Taking a little piece here, bit of glue. That's fine. Side. Okay, so just noted that yeah, I have actually done them correctly, but yeah, they've got to go upright, so make sure I do them all the same, otherwise that's going to look quite peculiar. So let's just make sure I've got this right, so round like that, and that way round. Okay, that's good. And then one on here. Perfect. Right, next one. Right, little dab of glue there. Persuade that one in, that doesn't want to go. Why doesn't that want to go? It looks like it's got a, just going to cut that one back a little bit because it's giving me some trouble. Let's try that again. That's got it. Okay, and this one again has got the pop that all through. Right, so there's 6 of those done, and it now looks like we drop those straight into the rest of the construction. These obviously are the lap bars, so I'm going to do one leg at a time. Right, one there and one there. Right, how are we going to push these down? Oh, that one's coming out. Let's just try. Right, I'm just going to grab something to push with, and I'm going to try and get on the back of this and persuade that in without damaging it. Let's try this one. Yeah. Right, let's just get that lined up. Still needs to go in a bit more. There you go. Right, okay. They are hard to fit. They're very, very fragile. So I've just got something that is just a little tool and I'm pushing down with it. Not the best way of doing it, but I can't see. I suppose you could always, if you are gluing it together, cut one of these off, one of these little sprues off, so that it, you know, that you rely on the glue to hold it in and not just the clipping points. Right, let me just try that one in a bit easier. And we'll just leave that to yep, that's perfect. Let's do this one. Again, just a tiny bit of glue. Right, now the bit I've got is too big, so I'll just grab a screwdriver. Let's try it with this. That one went in okay. Oh, this is much better. So the way to do this is a flat blade screwdriver, clearly, not some clunky piece of. There it goes. Yep. Right, that one's in. So that's that row in, and the final row. Okay. Let's get these in. Right. Okay. Gets that one in, and that one in. Okay. Looking good now. I just want to straighten that up a little bit. Looking a little bit crooked. That's better. That's perfect. Okay, and I guess this is one of the other advantages of gluing it, is you kind of clip them in and then you can position them and then they stay in that position. Whereas if you were clipping this together, if they got knocked or at all, they'd become twisted. But, let's do that one. Okay, right, I'm just going to line them. They don't look too bad at all. Okay, that's good. Lap bars are in. Right, number 10. So back to the sheets of wood. So that looks like the piece for, yeah, that way up, that way round. Right, and then this kind of convoluted shape, that looks like them there, there and there. Don't know what part this forms, but take that out, and that one. Ah, this is forming the nose of the car. So, right, let's just clean these up, get rid of some of the swarf off of them. Right, so here's our piece, and it's going to go round that way. Is that right? Yeah, and that goes on the end here, like that. Okay, so tiny bit of glue on there, and again, not that way, but in that way. So push that through, tease that into place. That's it. That's correct. I just noticed there's a little bit of swarf. So something you've got to be careful of is in these clips, if you get a tiny bit of swarf in there, however much force you put on, they will not clip in. And yeah, I learnt the hard way on that one, because it yeah, you end up breaking off the clip and making a right mess. Okay, and that goes around that side. Okay, there you go. Right, and then there's a back piece to go on as well. Where's the back piece? It's like a cross member. Gotta be here somewhere. I guess this is why they call it the puzzle. Is it that one? I'm not so sure. No, it's definitely not that one. It's definitely not that. Maybe it's this. Looks like it's the right size, but which way up does it go? Let's hold fire on that for a minute. Let's have a look at the nose. So the nose comes in here and is fitting onto here. So I'm guessing the fact that that's don't know. Not totally sure. There's another part to go in there. Right, so that piece goes onto those forward facing parts at an angle. Happy with that. Right, and goes in there and in there like that. Okay, let's just try and get that level. That's that side, that's that side. Okay, that's good. Right, so if that's round that way, does that go on the back there? Obviously I can see that fitting on there, but that doesn't seem right either. So that's round there. Okay, so that needs to go around like that, and that piece needs to go on there like that. That can't go on there like that. This is interesting. So that must go on there like that. Right. Which means that is got to be the part that goes on the front. But it's not angled right. Okay. So I'm just going to have a quick look at the picture, which is cheating. Right. Goes around that way and it goes that way up. Okay. So I'll put those in. As I say, you're not supposed to do it this way, but because I've jumped a step, I'm going to try and tease this in the best way I can. There you go. That's it. In like that. Okay, that's all assembled. And then this piece looks like it's going to sit on top of there. So I'll just put a couple of smidges of glue on there to hold that together. Okay, down it goes. Perfect. Wow. Right, that's that one done. So that's now number 12 done. And then number 13, this is now going to mount onto the front of the car somehow. So it looks like it goes either side of there. Oh, look at that. Look, there's even slots. Can you see the slots in there for it to slide into? And then that just goes on the front there. So because this is, I'm going to put a little bit of glue down there. And then I'm going to slide this in, get that clipped in place. Like that. And with a little bit of persuasion, that clipped in and that clipped in. There you go. Looking good. Looking good. And they've all set off now. Great. Okay. So then the next part is this bit here. And looking at that, that's going to fit in there quite nicely. Yep. So let's just slide a bit of glue in there. I'll wipe some of that off. I've overdone it a bit. Okay. Right, so there you go, we're up to number 14. We've got most of the fuselage built together, fuselage carriage, whatever you want to call it, upper body. Okay, so moving over, we're going to go, obviously this bit's a little bit more complex because they're giving us baby steps, so probably ideal for me. Right, so part number 1 is this bit here. What does that look like? No idea. Ah, I do, because I cut it out earlier, that's why I can't find it. What did I do with it? Took a piece out earlier. Where is it? There it is. Right, headlights on the front of the train. Okay, pop that in. Come on, into there, like that. And that side. There it goes, that's home. It's looking pretty good actually. Right, bulkhead, which is this piece here. Okay, and there is a little hole for it there, that's going to drop in there like that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down the back there just to hold it in place. And drop that into there, and it's up against there, that's perfect. 2 side panels, that looks like these two. So I'll just drop them out. Okay, and they go rearward with a slopey top. It's not very clear. Yeah, that way round, that way up, like that. Okay. Right. Let's just drop those on. Right. Again, there's quite a lot of force to go in there. Let's do a couple on here. Right, I'll push that through. Slowly been warming up a little bit in here since I've had the heat, little fire going next to me, which is quite nice actually. It was freezing when I first came out here and did the first part of the video. So I'm just going to drop a little bit on there, a little bit on there. Pop those in. Wow. And that one, perfect. Wow. Like it was made to fit. I'll do the same on this side, just a tiny bit. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up that square hole first and then lining up the lower one before I push it home. There you go, perfect. Okay, so that's that one done. 18, 19 is the Union Jack front. So again, what I'm going to do is just put a smidge of glue down the inside, so hopefully it won't be seen from the outside, and then just drop this onto the front of the car. That's that one, and that's that one, perfect. Okay, I'll just check my restraints are all still square. Yep, they're fine. Everything else is looking good. Perfect. All right, so that's those, and then finally we got the forward grab bars to go in here like that. Right, so a quick dry fit, that looks good. And I'm just gonna with the glue. I'm going to put it on the lower edge so that it can't be seen from above. I'm being very careful with this one because putting pressure on here is going to break these. You know, they're quite fragile, so I'm trying to be a little bit aggressive but gentle at the same time because it's not. There you go, a bit of wiggling. Actually, wiggling that worked quite well. That made it go in, so that's worth a note. Right, on to making the armature. So it's not very clear here. Obviously, these are the wheel trucks. So let's just drop those out. There's 4 of those, and then I'm looking at these. These are holding the side stop. Oh no, the understop wheels. Sorry, not the side stop. That's those. I'll just tease them out. They become a little bit troublesome. I'm just going to check these parts over, make sure they're clean, because I've got a feeling there's a little bit of swarf in a couple of these. Let's have a look. Right, they're looking pretty good. There's, so you can see in there, see that tiny little bit in there? That's what we got to look out for. That's what causes the problem when you put them together. Right, so we take one of these, and this comes from the outside like so. Perfect. Right, that's nice and straightforward. So I'll just put a little bit of glue and let's clip them together. So there's the first one. That looks a little bit odd. I'll just do that one again. That's better. There you go. Right. Oh, I've broken it. There you go. Too much force. So I'm just going to glue that back together like so. Actually, I'm just going to put a little bit more on there. It's so easy done. So easy done. Right. Slide that back together. There it goes. Okay. Right, slide that back together. And this is where this, as I was saying, the agent, the fixing agent, you put that on, and in a couple of seconds that'll be ready to go again. Right, I'm going to do this more gently, which is the best side, probably that side. So I'm going to clip this on here to try and hide the joint, if it will go in. There you go. Not too bad. Obviously a little mark there, but you know, not the end of the world. Let's move on to this one. Right, be more careful this time. Okay, that went in okay. And then the final one. Right, and that goes down into here. Perfect. And now we need to find a set of wheels for it by the look of it. So these are the smaller wheels. So these are the left, right, lateral wheels and the upstop wheels. So we need 3 per carriage set. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this end 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So far I've been pretty lucky. All the parts have come out very cleanly. I've had other kits before where I've had to really cut into them to get the parts out. I mean, there's a little bit of swarf on them, but nothing too major. Right, so these wheels go on the 2. I'm not going to glue these. I'm just going to push them in because they're looking pretty stable, pretty good. Right, that's that one. Okay, and then an upstop, which is going to be that one. Right, that's good. Actually, out of all the parts, these are the bits I probably should glue on, because these are the bits that are going to fall off and get lost. I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull these. No, they're going to be alright. They'll be alright. That's done. Okay, that one. And that one. Okay, and final set. That one. That one. And that one. Okay, that's good. Right, perfect. Now finally these carriage wheels. Right, so it's these two parts. Right, and the larger running wheels are the load bearing wheels. So that's this one, these four here. Right, I am going to glue these because I think they're looking a little bit vulnerable because they're slightly larger than the side and upstop wheels. So that's those two. Perfect. Let's do these two. And this one. That's it. Perfect. I'll glue myself to it there. It's not too bright. Right, I'm just going to make sure that they're nice and true before they go hard. That looks good. Right, and then we're going to glue on these onto, let's get them around the right way, that way. Okay. That's not too bad. Let's do this one. That one's in. So there you go. That's looking pretty good. And then these two. Put that one on there. That's it, perfect. Okay, I'm just going to make sure they're all true. Looking good. Yep. Perfect. Right, next page. Okay, home run. So, back to this. Let's look at these. So this looks like the brake fin. I'm guessing that's the brake fin. There should be two of those. There it is. Perfect. So these two, so they go together, not that way round, that way round. Okay, and then the wheels just clip on. So I'm just going to apply a tiny bit of glue on here. And before this is set fully, I'm going to mount my wheels to it. Okay, let's persuade that into there. There you go. And that's down nicely, and I'm going to do the same at this end. Just making sure I've got it wrong way up. Do it that way up. So easy to get it around the wrong way. And this is, again, this is the importance of, you know, not just using any old super glue. If you use this stuff, it allows, you know, it gives you a little bit of time to fix a mistake. Assuming you don't spray this onto it. The moment you spray that onto it, that's it. You've had it, and you'll be prizing it apart and making a right old mess. So these look like these parts, so we just pop those out. Right, that's the end of that sprue. Over there, right, these go onto that way round. You see they just slide on and pop on there, so you just do those. When you're pushing these parts on, this is what I did earlier when I broke the part, push in line with the bit that you're trying to push through. So I'm pushing in the middle, I'm not pushing off to one side because that will break it. So that just yeah, to very gently make sure that you're pushing in line with the clip. There's a little bit of muck on that one. That's it. Okay. Ooh, gone out of a line at the back there. That's not too good. So my glue has gone off. So I'm going to try and just slice these apart just a little bit. No. I think I'm out of luck on that one. Never mind, it won't show. It won't show. May have to just modify one of these parts a little bit. I'm going to do that back one first, because that's to see how troublesome that's going to be. Yeah, that is going to be a problem. Right. No, right. So you can see what I've done is it's slipped as I've pushed the other thing in, and then the glue set hard, which is going to be a problem. And I don't want to break it, much as I don't like this not being in the right place. I don't want to break it. Oh, is that promise? Okay. Let's see if I can prise them apart. No, I'm doing more damage than good. Right, so let's cut those tabs off and glue in a proper part. Right, I'm just going to take a saw blade and just cut those two tabs off because they're not aligned, and yeah. Right, so these two middle ones look pretty good, so I'm going to drop that in there. Okay. Just drop that in there, that's not a problem. And I'll just push that into place, that's good. And then this final one, I'm actually going to leave that in so it doesn't show too bad. And we'll just drop that across there like that. Okay, right, before that, right, I'm going to leave that to one side. Right, come back to that. Let's look at this base. So it's now telling me to put my surround on there. Now I've got that part of it. Where is the rest of it? That's interesting. It's over there. There you go. So, right, that looks like it's just sits around the periphery. Right, so let's do this into here. So we're just going to put a blob of glue on there and a blob of glue on there. drop that into here like so. Right, that's perfect. Okay, and then this is now going to sit on the back here, so I'm just going to put a tiny little bob of glue on these. That's it. Okay, not too much. And then from the back of the car, I'm just going to clip those in like so. Let's get that one in. Come on, that's it, that's in. Okay, and these two, that's it, perfect. Yep, so there you go, like that, perfect. Just check the restraints are true, that's fine. So then, I clipped these in a minute ago, I was off camera. So that sits in like that. This now clips onto the base, like in there like that. Okay. You see my little mistake at the front there. It doesn't really show. It's not the end of the world. That goes on there like that, and then this whole train. Again, just checking my restraints are all good. Everything's together. All the wheels are on. We'll then clip into there. Perfect. There you go. Yeah, so there you go. All built, put together. I'm actually quite pleased with it. I think it looks really, really good. Obviously, I had some problems, as you saw through the video. That's just me. I always get things wrong. There's a small misalignment of the chassis rail there where the glue slipped, but I mean, most of the problems I caused myself by gluing it together. Obviously, if you clipped it together, you could redo parts, but never mind. It's always a learning curve when you build these things, but really pleased with it. And again, thank you to Blackpool Pleasure Beach for engaging with this type of merchandise. Join me again for another build review, and thank you very much for watching.